Welcome back to Board Game Breakdown. I'm Christopher Solomon. In this burst video, we'll be diving into the travel planning game Globetrotting. If you'd prefer a longer video where I get into the details of setup, gameplay, and even how to play the solo mode, use this link here. If not, let's put 3 minutes on a timer and get started. Globetrotting comes to us from R2I Games, the forward-thinking designers of Canvas and Don't Go In There. In it, players will be plotting out multiple trips over different seasons to see who can meet the most objectives, while also spending the least amount of money. Before we look at the gameplay, let's take a look at how simple setup is for this creative game. The main attraction for Globetrotting is obviously the globes. These are made up of two halves that snap together and can be nested within each other for easy storage. I love the fact that they engineered a way for the maps themselves to only be inserted once into the globe, though players will have to construct the globe stand for each game. Outside of the globe, players each get a passport to mark their scores in, a wet erase marker to plot out their trips, and a few bucket list cards, which will instruct players to which goals need to be completed for which season. In the middle of the table, two global objective tiles are placed out, acting as table-wide goals that all players vie to meet. The beautiful deck of destination cards are shuffled next, and 3 are dealt out into the middle of the table to form 3 stacks. Lastly, festival tiles and festival tokens are placed out if 1 or 2 players are playing, or if 3 or 4 players are at the table, the tokens are placed back in the box and the festival tiles are flipped over to show the travel companion sides. The game is played over a series of 9 rounds. Before the first round, each player is going to mark on his or her globe the starting locations based on the 3 cards that were turned over during setup. The left card is part of the spring trip, the middle card is the summer trip, and the rightmost card is the fall trip. Once completed, the first round begins with 3 new cards being drawn. Simultaneously, players decide which destination to visit and on which trip. This will largely be based on the bucket list cards each player has, as meeting these objectives is going to be the largest source of victory points at the end of the game. Players will see a series of numbers on the horizontal ring that is part of the globe stand. Players will maneuver their globe so that the origin location is at the double golden arrow, and then the destination is placed horizontally from this location. Players will then draw a line between the 2 locations, noting the last number that was passed so they can write it down in their passport for that trip's airfare cost. After everyone has completed this task, 3 new cards are flipped over and play continues. Rounds continue like this until 9 total rounds have taken place. Players who spend the least airfare at the end of the game will be awarded 2 bonus points, on top of points for any bucket list or global objectives they meet. There are also a few other ways to gain points, such as by using the festival tiles or the limited edition travel reward cards, but I'll let those be surprises for you. Globetrotting is a relaxing and creative way to spend 30 minutes. There's almost no downtime as all players are drawing their trips simultaneously, and this place is where the game really shines. If you enjoy route building games that can be played by the whole family, I think you should definitely take a trip with Globetrotting as your tour guide. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe and check out our website at boardgamebreakdown.com.